What if 10 of Israel's 12 tribes vanished without a trace, leaving behind only mystery and legend? Entire tribes, once chosen and united under God's promise, disappeared, scattered across the world. But were they truly lost? Or have they been waiting to re-emerge? Throughout history, from Ethiopia to India, people claim they descend from these lost tribes, preserving ancient customs that echo Israel's past. And the Bible foretells a prophetic return, a gathering of the lost that could signal the end times. Could we be witnessing the fulfillment of these prophecies right now? In this video, we'll uncover the mystery of the lost tribes, their potential reappearance, and what it all means for the future of humanity. To understand the mystery of the lost tribes, we must first go back to the origins of the 12 tribes themselves, rooted in the story of a man named Jacob. Jacob, the grandson of Abraham, was chosen by God to carry forward a divine promise. In a powerful encounter, he wrestled with God and was given a new name, Israel, meaning one who struggles with God. This moment marked the beginning of a nation. Jacob had 12 sons, each destined to become the patriarch of one of Israel's 12 tribes. These sons were Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, and Benjamin. But Jacob's legacy didn't stop with just 12 names. His son Joseph received a double blessing, as his two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, each inherited a portion of the promised land, effectively making them the half-tribes of Israel. Each tribe had its own unique characteristics, customs, and purpose, all woven together to form a united people bound by God's covenant. They settled in the land promised to them, each tribe occupying a specific region. For centuries, these tribes were the foundation of Israel's identity, united in their worship, their traditions, and their struggles. However, this unity would not last. Over time, Israel faced internal conflicts and external pressures that threatened its stability. The once united nation began to fracture, and the seeds of division were planted, setting the stage for the great mystery that would come, the scattering and disappearance of 10 tribes, a mystery that would echo through the ages and raise questions still asked today. After the reigns of King David and his son Solomon, Israel reached the height of its power, a united kingdom, prosperous and influential. But beneath the surface, tensions were building. When Solomon's son, Rehoboam, took the throne, these tensions finally erupted. Rehoboam's harsh policies and refusal to ease the heavy burdens placed on the people led to a rebellion, and the kingdom split in two. The southern kingdom, known as Judah, was centered in Jerusalem and composed mainly of the tribes of Judah and Benjamin. The northern kingdom, simply called Israel, consisted of the remaining 10 tribes, with key leadership from the tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh. This division was more than just a political split. It marked a deep spiritual fracture in the people's unity under God's covenant. The northern kingdom quickly fell into idolatry, straying from the ways of the God who had delivered their ancestors from Egypt. Despite warnings from prophets like Hosea and Amos, who urged them to return to God's path, the people continued to worship foreign gods and embrace practices forbidden by their covenant. Finally, in 722 BC, the kingdom of Israel faced judgment. The powerful Assyrian Empire swept down, conquering the land and capturing its people. The Assyrians took the 10 tribes into exile, scattering them across vast territories in Assyria. This dispersal marked the beginning of their disappearance from history, as they were absorbed into surrounding cultures, losing their distinct identity over time. Yet the Bible hints that God never forgot these tribes, even in their exile. The question remains, are they truly lost, or could their return be part of a divine plan yet to unfold? This mystery of the lost tribes would persist for centuries, sparking theories, legends, and the hope that one day they might re-emerge in fulfillment of ancient prophecy. The disappearance of the 10 tribes of Israel is one of the most intriguing mysteries in the Bible. After being exiled by the Assyrians, these tribes seemed to vanish from history, their identities slowly absorbed into the cultures and lands where they were scattered. Over time, the knowledge of their specific locations, customs, and even tribal names faded, leaving only whispers and legends. But were they truly lost, or has their identity been preserved, hidden, and waiting to be revealed in a future chapter of God's plan? Throughout history, many have searched for traces of these lost tribes, driven by the belief that they still exist somewhere in the world. From ancient Jewish writings to modern scholars, the idea that these tribes might reappear has been a source of fascination. Some suggest that clues to their existence lie in the customs, traditions, and even languages of distant groups around the globe. These claims have led to a powerful question. Could these scattered people be the remnants of the lost tribes, preserved through generations to fulfill a prophetic purpose? The Bible suggests that the scattering of the tribes was not the end of their story. Prophecies in books like Isaiah and Ezekiel speak of a time when all of Israel's tribes will be reunited, forming a single nation under God once again. These prophecies hold a promise that the lost tribes may one day return, playing a crucial role in the events of the end times. The mystery of the lost tribes, then, is not just about history, it's about prophecy. It's a mystery that points to the future, one that may reveal God's ultimate plan for Israel and the world. And as we continue to explore, the possibility that these tribes could reappear takes on a profound meaning. Could their reemergence be a sign that the final days of this world are drawing closer? Across the globe, there are groups that claim descent from the lost tribes of Israel. These communities, often far from the lands of ancient Israel, maintain customs, beliefs, and traditions that echo those of the Hebrew people. Could these scattered groups be living remnants of the 10 lost tribes? Here are some of the most compelling examples. First, the Beta Israel of Ethiopia. This community, also known as Ethiopian Jews, believes they descend from the tribe of Dan. For centuries, they have practiced customs strikingly similar to ancient Judaism, keeping the Sabbath, observing kosher laws, and maintaining strict dietary practices. Their oral tradition speaks of a migration from Israel to Ethiopia, and, in recent decades, thousands have returned to Israel in dramatic airlifts known as Operation Moses and Operation Solomon. For many, their return symbolizes the fulfillment of ancient prophecies of regathering. Next, the Bene Israel in India. This group claims descent from the tribe of Ephraim. According to their tradition, their ancestors were shipwrecked on India's western coast during the time of the Assyrian exile. Isolated from mainstream Judaism for centuries, they still observed key practices like Sabbath keeping, circumcision, and dietary laws. Today, many Bene Israel have also migrated to Israel, reconnecting with their spiritual roots and adding to the diverse fabric of the Jewish population. In Afghanistan and Pakistan, the Pashtun tribes, or Pathans, claim descent from the tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh. Their customs, circumcision on the 8th day, avoidance of pork, and strict cultural laws, mirror those of ancient Israelites. Many Pashtuns refer to themselves as Bani Israel, or children of Israel, passing down stories of their Israelite heritage for generations. If their claims are true, these tribes represent a vast community, numbering in the millions, adding an entirely new dimension to the narrative of the lost tribes. Then, the Igbo people of Nigeria. The Igbo community has long held that they descend from the tribes of Gad and Zebulun. Their traditions include circumcision on the 8th day, dietary restrictions, and observance of certain religious festivals, all reminiscent of ancient Jewish practices. Many Igbo have formally converted to Judaism and even traveled to Israel, reconnecting with what they believe to be their lost heritage. Lastly, the Lemba people of Zimbabwe and South Africa claim descent from the tribe of Levi. Their customs include circumcision, kosher-like dietary restrictions, and Sabbath observance. In recent years, DNA testing revealed that a significant portion of the Lemba carry the Cohen modal haplotype, a genetic marker associated with the priestly line of Aaron, lending scientific weight to their claims. Each of these groups has persevered against time and isolation, maintaining customs that connect them to ancient Israel. Whether through tradition, oral history, or genetic markers, they offer compelling evidence of a lineage that might trace back to the lost tribes. For believers, these groups represent more than just communities. They could be living signs of prophecy, scattered people waiting to be gathered. And as they reconnect with Israel, could we be witnessing the early stages of the prophetic return of the tribes, as foretold in the Bible? The reappearance of the lost tribes holds a profound place in biblical prophecy. According to the scriptures, these tribes are not forgotten. Their return is central to God's plan for the end times, a plan that promises to reunite the people of Israel in a way that has never been seen before. In the book of Ezekiel, the prophet shares a powerful vision, the valley of dry bones. In this vision, God breathes life into scattered bones, bringing them together to form a unified body. God declares that he will restore and reunite Israel, making them one nation again. I will make them one nation in the land, on the mountains of Israel. They will never again be two nations or be divided into two kingdoms. Ezekiel 37, verse 22. This prophecy hints at a future where the lost tribes will be gathered back to Israel, united with Judah as a single people under the Messiah. Isaiah also speaks of this gathering in chapter 11, where he describes a second regathering. He will raise a banner for the nations and gather the exiles of Israel. He will assemble the scattered people of Judah from the four corners of the earth. While many see this prophecy as being partially fulfilled when the Jewish people return from Babylon, it points to a much larger global gathering, a gathering that includes the lost tribes. In the book of Revelation, we see yet another mention of the tribes in the end times. Chapter 7 describes the sealing of 144,000 individuals, 12,000 from each tribe, who will be protected during the Great Tribulation. This shows that even the lost tribes have a part to play in God's final plan for humanity, reminding us that they are an integral part of the prophecies surrounding the Messianic age. The return of these tribes isn't just a fascinating historical possibility, it is a spiritual and prophetic event with immense significance, a sign that God's promises endure through time. As groups from Ethiopia, India, Africa, and beyond claim their Israelite heritage, many believe we are seeing the first steps of these prophecies being fulfilled. Their reappearance serves as a reminder that God's ultimate plan for Israel and the world is still unfolding. Could the return of the lost tribes be a signal that the final days are drawing near? As these ancient prophecies slowly come to life, we are reminded that the mystery of the lost tribes is not only about Israel's past, but about all of our futures. The story of the lost tribes of Israel is more than an ancient mystery. It's a living testament to the endurance of God's promises. From the beginnings of these tribes under Jacob, through their exile and disappearance, to the claims of their modern descendants, the journey of the lost tribes has spanned thousands of years, reaching across continents and cultures. But their story may be far from over. Biblical prophecy tells us that these tribes will return, reunited with Judah to form one nation under God, playing a central role in the final events of humanity. As groups across the world reconnect with their claimed Israelite heritage, could we be witnessing the first stages of this divine regathering? The reappearance of the lost tribes serves as a powerful reminder that the mysteries of the Bible are still unfolding. For believers, it's a call to reflection, to look at the ancient promises and wonder, could these prophecies be coming true in our time? And if so, what does this mean for each of us? Thank you for joining us on this journey through history, faith, and prophecy. If you found this exploration intriguing, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Together, let's continue uncovering the mysteries that connect the ancient world to our modern lives.